menopause after 45. A lot of women are not aware.
They are not understanding or not knowing much about menopause.
Struggling with sleep, hot flushes, palpitations. Why is that?
The hormones go on decreasing. It decreases the metabolic rate of the body.
Are there any investigations which help us?
80% of the women during perimenopause period will suffer.
A lot of people are not aware it is perimenopause, it is menopause.
Menopause itself is not a problem which can be diagnosed on doing any blood test. It's more symptomatic.
When they take care of their lifestyle and diet, can they reduce their symptoms or even delay menopause?
But yes, we can take care when we know these things are correctable. In camera, I should not tell that.
Hi friends, welcome back to our podcast. I'm Dr. Vani, and in today's podcast we will be discussing all about menopause and menopause related problems. And to discuss about this topic, we have a highly experienced, skillful and a certified menopause specialist and a gynecologist and a laparoscopic surgeon who is working in Cloud9 hospitals, and also her name is Dr. Apeksha Thakre. Welcome to our podcast, doctor.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be a part of your podcast. And menopause is my very favorite topic, I can say, because women are suffering and they are not understanding or not knowing much about menopause, and they are not actually giving that importance that these things are correctable if they take help from the expert and all the the gynecologist. That will be curable and they will not suffer in that plus 40 age when they are going into that phase of menopause. So I'm glad to be here.
Generally, menopause related problems, a lot of women are not aware, and if they have any related those menopause problems, they generally go to a general physician, is what I have observed.
Yes.
And you being a gynecologist and being able to treat pregnancy related cases, PCOS cases, infertility related and other gynec problems also, and you're practicing more about menopause also. I think people should know that, like menopause, like after 45, after 50, if they have anything related, they should visit a gynecologist. Not only like gynec related problems, any overall related issues also, they should visit a gynecologist. You have did a course in menopause?
Yes, I have done the menopause course, and that exam I have given, and that is what is we are called as menopause expert.
Okay.
And we know thoroughly about the menopause related issues and how to treat it, when to start and menopausal hormonal therapy. That all things we know. We are into this practice day and out.
So what's the difference between perimenopause? These days we have been hearing a lot about perimenopause and menopause. So what is the difference between both of them?
A definition of menopause per se. Menopause is when you don't have periods, that is a cyclical bleeding, for at least 1 year, that is 12 months. So if there is a pause of no periods or no menses for 12 months, it is called as menopause. So it's not like the ladies having 4 months or 5 months not getting period, and that we can label it as. It must be 12 months of amenorrhea. And when it happens, that is at the end of that 12 months, it is menopause. After that, actually they should not bleed. They should not have even a small bleeding like spotting, what we call, because that is also abnormal in case once you reach menopause. And why menopause comes is hormones which are cyclically giving us that endometrial thickening and shedding of the endometrium, that is a lining of the uterus where the bleeding comes. That lining becomes thinned out, and because of that thinning, slowly the hormones which is actually giving this thickening will go down, and that will cause stoppage of the bleeding. Okay. So that is what is menopause. Perimenopause is the years before menopause. That means if was suppose in an Indian scenario, we say that 46 to 52 is the Indian women's age group of developing menopause. Like in this age group, if they develop menopause, is a natural way of getting menopause. But if somebody is getting before 46, it will be early. If somebody is getting after 52, is delayed menopause. And it's not that you should be happy that you are getting menopause at 55, because people will confuse that, yeah, I'm getting periods means I have hormones and I should be happy. No, there is always range of having this menopausal age. So once you are 52, 53, that is enough to have bleeding. After that, they should not bleed. So perimenopause is before that. That means around somebody may have in that 1 to 5 years probably. So we can say that 41, 42, 43, 44, this before the menopausal age, they will have symptoms which will start and that will show that they are going into menopause. So that is a perimenopausal age. It is before the menopause. It can range for anybody like only 1 year. Somebody may suffer for 3-4 years. That can be different in different women.
So like perimenopause is like moreover they'll be having irregular periods and all those things.
Yes.
Like
So if
too much bleeding or lesser bleeding, it can be anything.
Correct. So when we say that perimenopause starts, most of the time, like in 70% cases, it is more of the bleeding related issues. So somebody will have irregular periods, like getting it every 2-3 months, which is like getting more gaps, and somebody will bleed in 15 days. So when it bleeds like less than that 20 days of cycle, that is something abnormal, because they are losing more blood and they'll become anemic, and that can be something which is to be treated fast. But those who are getting delayed period, like 45 days, 60 days cycle, which was previously correctly 28-30 days cycle, they may be okay. But there again, if we see that associated with this irregularity, if they have some problem, they should be checked with the few investigation that we will be discussing.
And moreover, like a lot of people are not aware, like it is perimenopause, it is menopause, and so do you think like if men had this menopausal symptoms, do you think the awareness and the scientific research and all would have been different?
I can say yes, but few things are God's gifted, just like women is gifted with the childbearing capacity. Women is protected because of the hormones throughout her life. So because of this hormones only, female are protected from getting heart attacks and cardiovascular events. This is very important to understand, because when the women is under hormonal effect, they are protected from getting this type of cardiac related events. Whereas in men, they are not having this hormones protection, so they are at risk at any age for getting cardiovascular problems. So somewhere we are blessed with that. But yes, because they don't understand how women go through this phase and what the changes happens in the body when they are going into this perimenopausal menopausal age, that is a lacune where the partners and the family won't support, and they just leave it as mother is aging. So that's all age related. It's nothing like something which is hormonal imbalance which is causing these all symptoms.
So I think more awareness can be created by podcasts like this and all, like by doctors like you speaking more about it and bringing awareness in the public.
Yeah.
As you have mentioned earlier, in the perimenopausal stage, the periods might be irregular or they might be too much for some people. So why does that happen?
So this irregularity of periods happens because, as I told you, the hormones of estrogen, progesterone, which are actually in a regular sequential manner is working in our body, this estrogen will go on decreasing. So as the hormone go on decreasing, this lining of the endometrium, that I'm saying lining of the uterus, will have haphazard shedding or bleeding, and that's where they will have either heavy bleeding or scanty bleeding.
So indirectly the body is preparing you to towards menopause.
And most of the time, the early period of perimenopause, it's like more fluctuation. So why these people develop this irregularity along with other signs of menopause or symptoms of menopause is because of the hormone, which is initially starts fluctuating. They'll go suddenly high, then low, high and low. And when the plateau forms, just the menopause is reached, the hormone becomes slow down in a very flat manner. There, this fluctuation will not be there, and there they will be little better calm and quiet, because this happens most of the women that initially they are little disturbed, they'll have brain fog, they'll have irritability, they'll have sometimes anxiety, sometimes they will go into depressive phase. But then once the menopause reached, and after that 1-2 years, they will be acquainted, the body will get acquainted with that low hormonal effect, and then all symptoms will go off.
It's not the same.
You should not take it as a dictum that everyone will suffer from menopause. It's that few people will suffer more, but if they know that this is the menopausal symptom, they may treat themselves early, and that will help them to prevent the severe symptoms to get developed, will not suffer much.
And regarding the weight gain, so during this perimenopause and menopause, like why is it very tough for women to lose weight, especially at this age as they go towards menopause? Because I've seen a lot of people, including myself, where I've eaten the same kind of food, same kind of lifestyle, but during that younger age, it was easier to lose weight, but now it's becoming tougher and tougher for me to lose weight. And a lot of women like me might be suffering with the same issue. So why is that?
So as you only said, with the same lifestyle, with the same food and same thing, why we are gaining weight. So this is only the wrong thing what we are expecting from menopause. Okay.
Oh.
Now menopause, here the hormones go on decreasing. It decreases the metabolic rate of the body. So what is metabolic rate? It is the capacity of getting calories burned. So when you are at the young age, less than 40, you have the higher metabolic rate. So if you eat more, your body will metabolize it, the calorie will be burned. Whereas once you are reaching to perimenopausal and menopausal age, there your burning capacity of fat, calories are less. In menopause, what happens is, more than 40 age, what happens is the metabolic rate of the body starts decreasing. So whatever you are eating, and you are saying the same what we are eating before, we are eating now. So now this metabolism is slow. Whatever you are eating, half of that gets properly burned. That means the calorie what is gaining is more, because the metabolism is less. So indirectly what will happen, you will not change your lifestyle, and then this weight gain will be more, as you need to do more of exercise, more of diet proper. That is always a balanced diet, because most of Indian women, we say that they will not take weight gain as a important factor. They say it is aging, so it happens. No, actually you should work out more. Less than 40, it's fine. Your body will take care of it by increasing the metabolism. Now it's you to put effort. You should regularly doing exercise is important. You should walk daily. Only walking is also not important. Important is to do definitely a 30 to 40 minutes of yoga.
Okay.
Then having body movements, that what I'm saying. And also the diet proper. So it is most of the people, they do dieting by decreasing their food intake. That is totally wrong. Actually that will lead to deficiencies, and they will have again the symptoms of that deficiency, like if there is B12, vitamin D and all deficiency, or vitamins deficiency per se, they will lose hair, they will have skin problem, they will have weakness, fatigue, they will feel tired. So these are always not menopause, but these are the things what they do for doing the dieting, not a proper dieting per se.
Okay.
And that way of eating of less food, not having a proper calorie included, will cause the symptoms more of like menopause, which mimics menopause but may not be a menopausal symptom because of the nutritional deficiency.
Okay, so people who are getting, yeah, as you said,
Battling the
like
menopause.
till before menopause, we'll have all these estrogen hormones which are protecting us from heart diseases. So indirectly, if we have a better lifestyle and good diet, we can prevent ourselves from. That's why, like we hear women having this heart attacks and all after 50, after 60, and all
Correct.
silent heart attacks
Silent
also.
heart attack,
So
yes.
they have to take care of their health much more, as you
Correct.
said. For this menopause, do all women need this hormone replacement therapy?
No. So as we will be discussing few things like where we need hormonal therapy. So strict no, we should know. After that, what is where we can use is we can discuss. But strict no is after 60 age, and if you had menopause more than 10 years, their hormonal replacement therapy will be harmful, not useful. So if suppose a person gets menopause at 45 and she wants to start hormonal therapy at 55, nobody will actually give her, and she is not a candidate to accept it. So it is that in early years of menopause only, if we give hormonal therapy, that will be definitely good for that patient. And that too, it's not that everyone will be starting with HRT. There is very hormonal therapy is for those who are having really the multiple involvement of systems. If they are less than 40 and they are getting menopause, they are the highly recommended patients or women who should take. Just for example, if somebody have gone for hysterectomy before 40 or around 40, 41, 42, so those people and those women, they will be suddenly getting the hormonal level dropped because of the doing the hysterectomy. And if the ovaries are removed, definitely they are the called as surgical menopausal women, where the treatment should start within 3 months. If they don't know this, and if their gynecologist or the people who are doing hysterectomy, if they don't tell this information to them, they neither will come after 3 months anyhow, and they will be suffering a lot within year of the hysterectomy. So it's very important. It's not that doing hysterectomy and going home is the end of the things. Actually the things or the problem starts if the hysterectomy is done at the younger age, less than 40. And if that is done, they should be mandatorily starting HRT. Else people are having very much myths and fear of taking HRT, but it is not like that. See, we start HRT after seeing the patient overall. If they are having multiple system involvement, like they are having urinary problems like increased frequency, having dryness of vagina, which most of the women won't tell, then having bone health related issues like weakness, body aches, joint pains, involving the other systems like the brain related like anxiety, depression, where the most of the women, if they go into severe sort of psychological problems of irritation, anxiety, depression, there it's not only the psychologist will help, it is also the hormones will help. I'll give you an example that few of the women, they come after taking a consultation with psychologist, with cardiologist, with physician, everyone, multiple consultation they'll do. Ultimately, they'll land up with gynecologist.
Okay.
We will be treating them with the hormones because that will be helpful not only for the palpitation they are getting after hot flushes, or the bone health which is causing this weakness, tiredness, where for them they went to physician.
Correct.
And psychologist, where they are thinking they are going into some sort of this, but sometimes it is not that. It is
Yeah.
because of the brain fog which happens due to hormonal depletion. That is what is menopause.
So there are certain specific candidates who are eligible for HRT treatment.
Correct. And it's not
And
a harmful
not a
thing.
harmful thing.
It has to be chosen properly, then
Yeah.
it will be helpful for them.
There have been few studies which they said breast cancer, it might increase breast cancer and all, but again I think those were long back.
Still, they say that there is a risk, but that's what we say. When the risk versus benefit, that we see, and when the patient is not having many of the metabolic disorders like BP, sugar, thyroid, migraine, where it is no for the hormonal therapy, we start it with seeing the overall picture, the fitness of the patient to take it. And even if we put them on this hormonal replacement therapy, we do tell them that mammography or breast scan has to be done in a very particularly in a yearly or whatever the way we will tell. When they follow this, they are not at risk of developing breast
Yes.
cancer, because we know that if they are going to develop any side effects, we also tell the precaution and the investigation and the preventive measures what they should do regularly. It's not that once the HRT is written and they'll go home and after that they'll not see us. That's why the patient selection is important. The one who understand the importance of doing investigation post HRT are the patient who we will give. Otherwise,
Yeah.
there are non-hormonal therapy which is also like almost good to give, because it gives almost 50 to 60% relief from all the symptoms. So giving that nutritional supplements along with the non-hormonal therapy also works nicely for most of the patient.
Okay.
But they should know that it is available.
My sister was telling like in Gulf countries and all, they were taking estrogen patches
True.
and
That's
all
what-
those things. A
you
lot
know-
of gynecologists also, her professors were taking
Correct.
these treatments.
See, the thing is, we have lot many non-harmful type of drugs, that is patches. Now the sprays are available. Just put the spray on hand and you are done. And there's no side effect on your body, neither on the breast, neither on the uterus, if they are those who are having not done hysterectomy. There are different type of preparations which are not having any body side effects, and they will be preferred for those who are having risk of developing breast cancer, just like those who are having very long years of diabetes, hypertension, where we can't use oral type of hormonal replacement therapy.
Yeah.
There the work of this patches and spray will come, and they work excellently. That's why they should understand that these are the treatable things without any risk.
And doctor, like during this perimenopause and menopausal period, a lot of women will have this sleep issues. They'll be struggling with sleep. Either they'll get up in the middle of the sleep with a lot of hot flushes and all these things, or panic attacks, palpitations and all. Why is that, and how do they go through this?
So 70 to 80% of the women during perimenopausal and early menopausal period will suffer from hot flushes. Hot flushes are exactly, if I want to explain the symptom, is suddenly when you are sitting in the AC environment, all of you in the family, and the one who is developing this, the lady, will suddenly develop that feeling of hot and just like feeling hot in the upper body, that is face and the neck area, and it is for hardly of 2 to 3 minutes, not more than that. and in that period they'll feel like the upper part of the body is burning, it's becoming very hot, even the face will become red. And when they just that 2-3 minutes period goes, suddenly it will go off and they feel cool, and they will have sweating also. So the depending upon the degree of involvement of that hormonal deficiency, they may have just the hot flushes like this and they will stop. Sometimes it will lead to palpitation, that is feeling of own heartbeat faster, and that will go in 2 to 3 minutes. So these things happens, and it happens more in the early period that I explain you, the fluctuation when it happens before the ending of the menopause. They'll suffer more in the perimenopausal period than
Okay,
menopause,
okay,
or at
okay.
least in the first year of menopause, when the hot flushes will be more. And when this hot flushes happens in the night, that time they will suddenly get up in the night feeling that weird thing of having something abnormal, and then they will take 2 to 3 minutes for getting off from this, and after that their sleep get disturbed. So again, most of the time it happens in the night. They'll have lack of sleep, that is called as anosmia, and that's where the sleep disturbances are more in that period.
Okay, it's more in the
Menopause,
perimenopausal,
early
early
menopause
menopause
was
rather than later.
then later.
So if any women is having such kind of symptoms, that's also a diagnostic factor. Like
Diagnostic.
they have to visit a
Yes. So menopause
gynecologist.
itself is not a problem which can be diagnosed on doing any blood test. It's more symptomatic.
Symptomatic.
If you
Yeah.
get irregular periods, if you are getting hot flushes, if you are feeling that hot flushes prior, like around 43, 44, before the menopausal age, that is, you should understand that maybe in 1 or 2 years you are going into menopause.
Okay, okay. And as we know that this perimenopause and menopause is moreover above 45 age or after that. So how can we differentiate that it is due to hormonal or due to family stress? And few of them will be having this work related stress, or they might be retirement age or whatever it is.
So most of the women, they feel that this the changes in their body, irritability or the brain fogging, forgetfulness, that is all because of the aging. But it is not. We should differentiate this between the nutritional deficiency and the menopausal symptoms. So most of the time it is because of the B12 deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, or other multimineral deficiency. Even the protein deficiency will cause weakness, muscle tiredness, and that's why they are not able to do the daily activity with that enthusiasm. So these things they should always remember, that after 40, at least the whatever test we tell, that women's health checkup, where we detect any deficiencies, and this deficiency we give supplements for that, so that they will be actually getting better with only having this nutritional supplement, rather than going into any hormonal or directly going into anything which is oral, like hormonal therapy replacement. That is not required at that stage. Just the nutritional deficiency that we have to first correct.
As you're aging, like your body might need more
Requirement,
nutrients,
absorption
and
will be little delayed,
yeah.
slowed. So there you need more of like supplementations.
Yeah.
But without again doctor's prescription, you should not take, because
Huh,
nowadays
correct.
again vitamin D is just like a pandemic, that everyone is low in vitamin D. But without checking and without pre-test and post-testing that it is normal, you should not continuously giving the vitamin D3.
Yeah, yeah.
in that way.
Vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, and if you take vitamin D without doctor's prescription, you might land up in kidney stones, uric acid problems,
Correct.
and all
That
those
is very
problems.
common.
We
Yeah.
have seen one patient long back, like who had developed kidney stones because she was taking, like, once upon a time, doctor wrote her, because she had a back problem or something.
She
The
was-
doctor wrote her vitamin D supplements. So just like vitamin B, she was taking continuously for years and years, and then she had a kidney stone problem.
True. Means the 60K, 60,000 dose, which is weekly ones, few patients they don't understand, they'll take it daily. So that's a very huge dose which can
Yeah.
cause this problem of kidney stones and brittleness of bone, actually, rather than making it strong, and then it causes even fractures.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing is good na in overdose.
And is it possible for women to get pregnant during this perimenopausal age?
It's very rare. It's like we can say that as the eggs reserve is going on depleting. So after 40, there is ovulation happening once in a while, but not at every cycle. So once in a while they may become pregnant, which is rare, but that's why we don't say that you will not get pregnancy once you are near to the menopause. We should be little cautious if it is their family planning operation is not done and their periods are still regular at after 40 before menopause, then
There is a slight chance.
slight chance we can say
Yeah.
that it is not 100% no.
Yeah, I have seen like my sister's friend when they were doing medicine, her mother conceived a baby. Like her daughter is in medicine means 18, 19 years,
Correct.
and she conceived a baby, which was like a mistake kind of pregnancy. So we thought like, okay, perimenopause, like very slight chance, but there is a chance.
Yeah, there's a
for-
chance because once in a while ovulation is happening,
Hmm.
and if that is there, there is a chance, slight chance.
Yeah, and doctor, like in our society, moreover, these days we see like they glorify men aging, salt and pepper,
Pepper look.
look, and they say like so they glorify aging men, and like people look up to CEOs, director of the company, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And at the same scenario, you take women, they're not so glorified, and then they're not given importance as they were given. Like if you see heroines, we look up to them when they are young, and once they age, just very few adult heroines are glorified, but not everyone. So why is that? Do you think it's because of this menopausal symptoms which will reduce the glow, or which will reduce your energy levels and all?
No, actually, I just feel that age is just a number, and though it is a men dominant society, now females they also understand the importance of their own body, how to make it feel good and to maintain it. So it's like if you have that inner voice that even if you're 40, even if you're 50, you have to keep yourself fit, and they're just not looking slimmer and all. It's like fitness in all ways, like they should be having regular exercise, they should be having weight balanced in a balanced way, so that things will keep them always on a better side of their at whatever age they are. So in probably it's a menopause should not affect any women to grow in their profession, career, anything, though it is glorified for the men. But yes, nowadays I think if women concentrate on their own body, their requirement, regular checkups, and having that nutrition deficiency corrected, having dietitian opinion, having physiotherapy, for example, if, as we see that as aging happens, women will have having laxity of the muscle, and they'll have the loosening of the muscle at arm area or at the places like belly and all. So there the role of physiotherapy or the exercise or yoga, muscle strengthening exercise comes. It's very important for women after 40 to go for muscle strengthening exercise. So we don't understand that importance, and because of that we will be like, oh, it's okay, walking will be fine for us for 30 minutes. That's not the way, because even protein intake is must for preventing the loss of protein from the muscle, and that's why the
Okay.
muscle sags. Okay.
Yeah, I think women should invest more time,
Time.
after 40 and 50.
Correct.
Just not thinking like, because even in families also, they won't be given that much importance. Like work is
Mother
done,
is at home,
and children are grown
children are
up.
grown up,
So
they are
they
in
just
their
take
own.
care of the cooking and maintaining the family and all. But again, it's you have to come up and take care and ask for help. And as we are discussing, doctor, like it's important for women to take care of themselves after 50, after menopause, and during the perimenopausal age. They have to invest more time, as you said, in muscle strengthening exercises and yoga. If they are scared of going for this exercise and weightlifting and all, at least they can do yoga. And moreover, like I read somewhere that the reason women are not so glorified after 45 or 50 is early days, ancient days. Like a woman was considered as a kind of, it's not right to say, but a kind of waste person once she loses her fertility period. So ancient days, it was that like once she cannot conceive children, then she was not considered as an important person in the society. So that's how they were indirectly wired from ages and ages. Like, okay, once you attain that period, then you're not eligible for the importance. But I think a lot of women over the years they have changed that, and now a lot of women, we are seeing women
Yes.
in politics, women in being CEOs, women being directors, and take care of medical help also.
Seen our teachers who are now 60 plus, 70 plus, they are so much having that, you know, enthusiasm to teach. They have that, we say that there is brain fogging and you don't remember things, you get forgetfulness and all. But you will be surprised to see that they are at this age of 70 also, they are so thoroughly with the knowledge, and they don't forget things like that, and they,
Yeah.
you know, express so nicely. We have so many CEOs and you know, high company people who are like up plus 60, and they're managing the things good. And we are, most of the public, they are attracted towards more of the actresses and all. So we have seen now just the new movie of Rashmika Mandana and Malaika. So they are, people are saying that Malaika is
Correct.
looking better than Mandana.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is what is the society should see and change. That's somebody is maintaining themselves at the 40 plus stage. It's not that to show off. They are maintaining themselves. It's not that I should say that I am 40, so in camera I should not tell that I am 40 plus. I am happy to say that, because age is just a number. You keep yourself fit, you do whatever is good for your body and your mind. That's it, what is important for women.
Yeah, they're all creating an example for us
Yes.
that we can keep ourselves fit. Moreover, it was like early days, women after 50, they needed some help.
They
They
will be
were
sitting
looking
at home.
for support from once in a while, not every
Not
time.
everywhere.
So,
Yeah.
but again, there is a chance for you to take care of yourself and be independent also.
And now, because more of the working women percentage is increasing, definitely this is giving them more like enthusiasm to keep themselves fit to perform.
The more you perform, both your brain cells and your muscles will start becoming
Stimulating.
stronger and
Yes.
stronger.
The
Brain is also like a
synapses of
muscle, it
nerves
seems. Yeah.
will get stimulated. As we say that to keep the memory strong, we have to play the games which will increase the memory, you know, the sharpness. That is always important. One thing to all understand that in the menopause, most of the women, they don't come up with the problems of sexual related issues. So many, they suffer with the loss of libido and not having interest in having the sexual activity. So there is the one thing which never the women will come with this complaint. That complaint we will always extract when we ask for each and every other system. When it is involved, we ask them that whether you have anything like dryness of vagina, where you have painful intercourse, or you are having not having that intimacy. So there, most of the women, they go back and they don't, you know, interact at that openly. But that is also one thing that we have treatment for that. Vaginal dryness happens is because of the estrogen level comes down, the hormone which is the hormone of lubrication, which gives a, you know, that white discharge, which is not abnormal always. It is actually giving the lining a smoothness, and that will cause the women to go for a smooth sort of intimacy. But where it becomes dry, they will have painful intercourse where they don't allow the partner to go ahead. So there also, there's a treatment of having creams which we apply vaginally, and using that cream is not at all harmful. We can use it without any much effects on the body, with the doctor's prescription, of course, for that many months, or whatever is the time period we should use. So if they follow that also, they will be regaining or rejuvenating their that part of the intimacy where they feel like, yeah, it's like done, now we are. So that openness is also when they have this information that yes, they can have the treatment for this problem, then they will come up. But because most of them, they don't know that there is something which is helpful for their own body to go for this, definitely they should come up with that.
Yeah, moreover, another question which I have is like, as you said, they don't talk about it and all that. So these are all like this vaginal dryness and all. So these are all related to again menopausal symptoms.
Correct.
So like, why don't we talk about this menopause so aggressively or so commonly, like pregnancy, like PCOS, like thyroid and all? Why even in the reels also, the digital media, we don't see much of people talking about menopause? Why do you think so?
That is again the question which we feel that after 40 or 50, the women is of not of any use.
Yeah.
So it's like always.
So there's no market for
market
that
for that
topic.
topic. But yes, being a part of this menopause society, because I am a member member of Indian Menopause Society, and I, because we have given the exam, we have passed it, we have thoroughly studied the menopause, and after studying, actually my imagination and my even treatment part change a lot, because once you know the subject thoroughly, you will understand how many people are actually suffering, and once they are coming and we are just writing one two medical means just medicine for their nutritional supply will not going to affect their problem. So if we thoroughly examine, thoroughly understand their problem, there are medicines, as I explain you, that there is non-hormonal therapy to start with. There are non-hormonal medication to treat hot flushes, because that are to be just given for a while. See, they will have this for a 6 to 8 months maximum, and whenever they are having it and they are disturbing their lifestyle, then yeah, they should take it. It is not that everything has to be taken till the end of the life. It is hardly that period when they are suffering from hot flushes. We have medical medicines to treat that. Once the hot flushes goes off, they have to stop it.
Okay.
Again, the for example, the vaginal cream I have told, whenever they are having this problem, they can use it for a few months. Again, stop it. Again, when they repeat, again develop this type of dryness, they can again reuse it. So it is not that permanently you have to use it, and it is not having any major side effect when it is given by a doctor, and when you are understanding that you should follow. It's not that we are writing and they should never come again. If they follow, definitely we are going to help them for each and every sort of problems in menopause. Just forgetfulness, it's not just a simple thing that to be taken treatment from psychology. Sometimes giving supplements, giving the non-hormonal treatment for the women, telling them to go for meditation, simply yoga, meditation, sometimes that will, and counseling the family, especially the partner and the kids, that your mother is going through this part of menopause, and that's why she is irritable, that's why she is feeling the sudden anxiety, she will scold you suddenly, she will be suddenly silent, and she will cry in between suddenly. So these things, don't think that she is having some psychological issue. It's the problem that you people should give more love, affection, that that a feeling of she's not alone, she needs that help, and she needs that support during this period. That should be understood by everyone, and that will happen only when the awareness will increase. So I am for it forever.
That's nice. I mean, like such undiscussed topics have to be discussed. It's a high time, I think. And during menopause, we see a lot of women having high cholesterol, and BP also increases. So, is there any relation between the hormonal fluctuations?
Definitely it has, because as I told you, the menopause comes and the hormones start decreasing. There is the catch that cardiovascular events happens, and that's where the vessels, that the blood vessels become thickened, the deposition of cholesterol will be more. So lipid profile, that we say that cholesterol, triglyceride, that get deranged. So these things needs actually the proper balanced diet and exercise. So these things definitely affect during the menopausal stage, and that's why at the age of 40 and above 40, it's mandatory to go for women's health checkup, which will contain this all the blood tests like lipid profile, and required investigation, which will show off that why the blood pressure is increasing. If the lipid profile is high, they have to prevent it by using medication, changing the diet, changing the oil. Okay, so that thing will definitely affect. So these all symptoms are one of the signs, are one of because of the menopause.
So there is a direct correlation
Direct
between
correlation,
cholesterol, heart
menopause
disease,
comes,
and menopause.
less lipid will increase, cholesterol in that cholesterol and triglyceride mainly will increase, and sugars, those who are diabetic, non-diabetic, even they are at risk of developing diabetes. So metabolic disorders like sugar, BP, and hormones, thyroid problems,
Obesity
this
and all these
obesity
things.
as weight gain is also happening. So these things will add on to the menopausal age.
So is there also a link between bone health? Because a lot of women complain
Very,
about
very important.
joint pains,
Yes.
knee joint stiffness, unable to get up immediately,
Yeah.
back pains and all that. So there is a link.
There is a direct link, because till 35 the bone mass is built in the body, and the just after 35 the bone losing phase will start, and as we reach menopause, the perimenopausal age, there is a fastening of this losing of the bone. So if it is 1% every year, it goes to 5%. So just imagine every year 5% loss of bone will 25% by the age of 5, it will cause tendency to go for fracture. Trivial trauma will lead to fractures. So these things happens because it is directly related to bone health. As the hormone is decreasing, the deposition of calcium on the bone will start decreasing, and the bone loss will be always more. So to replenish this only, we have to take calcium and vitamin D3 on a regular basis, but again with the advice of the doctor. So it should not be an overdose. But yes, doing the bone density testing, which we call as BMD testing, the DEXA scan for those who are having very low level of bone mass, that we can detect on these investigations, like brittle bones. So where we know this, that the bones are getting affected, we will give even the few injections which are for the bone strength. So only vitamin D and calcium will not affect, will not be helpful.
Okay.
One step more, where we send them to orthopedician. After their advice, we give injections to them. So these injections are for the bone health also. So people also don't know that osteoporosis, osteopenia, that is the level of getting that brittleness in the bone, that can be treated at this age also. Otherwise, they will be at risk of getting fracture very easily. You
Simple
must be
thing,
knowing
yes.
that once they are 50 plus, they will be with the slightest this thing, they'll have this
Yeah.
Achilles fracture and all. So bone health is very, very important, and that's why after 40 again they should be checking with the calcium and vitamin D levels. According to that, they should supplement themselves with this. And even those who are having low bone mass, they should be taking these injections with the help of the doctor's advice.
These injections are like one time injection,
It
or
can
like
be 3 monthly
multiples?
once,
Okay.
yearly once, but it is always, they have a side effects, so we should always select the patient and then only give it. So that's why we can't openly tell the
Yeah,
names
yeah,
and all.
yeah.
We just tell that there are treatment, they should definitely come and do the examination, then we can
Yeah, depending on
prescribe
the
levels
yeah
of deficiency.
deficiency. So it's like for women after 45, 50, 60, after 60 also, because after 60 women suffer more of
See,
these
when
bone
we,
related problems.
that's where the early you treat, the better is the effect. So when in the early stage of 40, 45 and before 50, if you try doing the blood test and the investigation, what we tell, that time only we will give this part of treatment, which will be retained for another few years, and that will help in the plus 60 age also to having the good bone strength. That's why the early intervention is needed.
Correct. I have seen my mother also. Like, she was a very active working woman, and once she like perimenopause, menopause, I think, was very young at that time, and that time she had joint pains, and from then her bone health deteriorated. So we were not so educated enough to take her to a gynecologist.
That time it was not
Yeah.
that even knowledge was not there, but now
Yeah.
definitely we are there for helping those people. And that's why it is not like one time treatment. You have to be actually early to detect it, and that's why it will be long term to give this treatment for those who are having osteoporosis or osteopenia, that is brittleness of the bone in the early 50s.
This is a very important point actually. They can prevent a lot of bone related and joint related, because
Yes.
like if you have difficulty in walking, that also can lower your confidence levels
So
and all.
to tell in detail, I'll just tell that because bone health is absolutely important. When there is a depletion of the calcium and this bone mass in the spine, that is the vertebral column, that stooping of the posture will start. They will have difficulty in
Balance and
balancing.
all.
They will have a waddling gait because the knees and the bones of the legs will get affected. They will get little bowed and they will walk like a duck like
Correct.
walking.
Yeah.
So this thing happens in women because they don't take care of this bone health prior, and that's why then the bones become brittle. They will start getting little bit of change in the lining, and then they will suffer with this.
It will go on till lifetime and all.
Yes, curvature of spine and that straight sitting and all, that will not be there because they will drooping will start, shoulder drooping. That all things are because of the not taking care of the bone health prior.
So it's important, like at least now women entering into perimenopause and menopause, it's important
For that, even along with all these things like medicinal treatment, in diet they have to have increased level of proteins and the multivitamins. So these things will help them. For women, we say that soya protein is very good in the perimenopausal age group.
Okay.
In that, they they should always have, daily basis, they should have chia seeds, papaya seeds, fal seed. So make a mixture of it, add it anywhere in your breakfast or any brunch and all these things, and have it, because that will definitely help, because the amino acids, the important omega acids,
Yeah.
what omega 3, that they will require, and that is there in all this food stuff. So having this food stuff also is as important as having the exercise and yoga. So diet, exercise plays an important role for women of 40 plus to maintain their protein intake.
Is there a link between this menopause and mental health also? Because like we see women everywhere in families, like moreover like 40, 50, they will either be angry, shouting or cranky or whatever. Is there a link between perimenopause and
Yeah,
menopause?
again there is a link, because as I told you, menopause involve all the system of your body, top from the brain to the bones and cardiovascular, gut system and the sexual system. So here the brain fogging, that is the forgetfulness, anxiety, depression, sudden attack of anxiety, all these things will cause. This is because of the fluctuating hormonal levels which are now going on decreasing. So these things will need more of family support. The family and the friends should understand the problem of this is not just a psychological thing, but they need the support. It's not always that it needs a treatment per se with the medication, but just counseling, giving time, understanding the problem will also solve. And yes, sometimes the depression or the psychological problem goes to an extent where they are becoming going into the depression part. Definitely, along with the medication and the psychotherapy will help them, but they should not be neglected, because it's initially it may be a menopausal symptom, but later if we don't treat it, may go into a psychological problem.
Can go into chronic depression because
Yes.
like the hormones will automatically disturb the happy hormones and all those things
Yes,
also.
yes,
Yeah.
true. And that's why important thing is they should become more like friendly. They should make them engage in their hobbies. So happy hormone, as you said, is secreted when you are having that hobbies which will make you happy. So this thing will happen if they engage themselves in some group activity, having a yoga session together instead of having it alone, having this involvement with the friend circle and family together. So these things and whatever hobbies they are interested with, singing, dancing, listening to music, whatever, if they do that part even an hour of in a day, they will be definitely getting benefited, as it will secrete a happy hormones
Yeah.
for them.
We have been seeing a lot of educated women, I mean, every women going through this. But again, if even though the partner is educated and even though they are from medical profession or even if they are educated, they do not have much awareness of this menopause. I think women only don't have enough
Don't have.
awareness, but partner also doesn't have awareness and they're not giving much support, I think. So, like, what can you say, being a gynecologist and a menopause specialist?
Suggest that women should definitely bring their husband when they are coming to meet a gynecologist for this problem.
This is a good
They,
point.
that is one thing that they will listen.
Yeah.
They will not after going, if the women say that this is doctor told, again they will take it lightly. But if we explain them this problem, that what your wife is going through and what you should be doing for her, it may give a difference in understanding the problem of women during menopause. So I always say that you should bring your husband so that I can explain this all problem with him.
Suppose if women like they are aware of all this perimenopause and menopause and they take care of their lifestyle and diet, can they reduce their symptoms or even delay menopause to at least above 50 years?
If they understand menopause and if they are prepared that these things may happen, they will at least know when to take the treatment, and that way they can prevent themselves from suffering. But yes, we don't know whether they will able to postpone the menopause. Per se, it's all the genetic thing, that if the mother is having menopause at the age of 50, sometimes the daughters will have the age of at 50. But that is also depending upon their lifestyle whole throughout their life. If they are having obesity, if they are having many hormonal issues during the reproductive age group, where they have taken hormones for infertility and all, there also and nowadays the endometriosis, adenomyosis, these things are also very common. Fibroids are common. So because of all these things, their menopause will get affected. So maybe delayed, maybe early, but this happens. So that cannot be 100% postponed or something like that. But yes, we can take care when we know that when to intervene and when to take the treatment.
The severity of those symptoms can be
Can be
reduced and they
reduced.
can manage it better.
Yes.
As you said, like
They should
yoga and
not able to
meditation will
suffer. They should
Yeah.
be treating themselves when it is affecting them.
Are there any investigations which help us to say that yes, she is going through menopause?
Whatever it is, Indian mentality, or I can say that women will always think why we should do investigation just on a routine basis. But yes, before 40, whatever it is, after 40, it's very important to get their women's health checkup done regularly. Women's health checkup will involve test, very important tests like knowing the lipid profile, knowing the kidney function, liver function, knowing the vitamin D level, B12 level, their HbA1c, that is knowing the level of glucose during the last 3 months. Along with that, their hemoglobin, because most of the women are even anemic at the age of any age, like even at 40, 45. So along with this blood investigation, it is must to do mammography after 40 once in 2 years at least. Those who are having anyhow breast cancer history in their family, their doctor who is treating their patient, they will anyhow make these people to understand the disease, and they will be doing it regularly. For those who don't have any family history, even they should be very much doing this, that every 2 yearly once at least they should go for mammography. Pap smear, that is the screening test for cervical cancer, that has to be done every 5 yearly. And we know that now the HPV vaccine is available, which is cancer prevention vaccine, only one cancer prevention vaccine which is available, that they have to take at the age of even 40, 45 they can take. It's a myth that it is to be given only in the young age.
Yeah,
No,
I thought
actually the
that.
cancer happens after 40 in most of the women. So if they are not exposed till that point with that HPV infection, this vaccine can help even at the age of 45. Out of India, there's no age limit. We are in India, we have few for protocols, or we have some guidelines, so we are giving at 45. But even with the request of the patient, if they are ready, we will give that after documenting. But it can be given at any age, and that's what is also an important part of this testing the women. So along with the blood test, mammography, pap smear, this thing should be done yearly. As I told you, pap smear is 5 yearly, mammography is at least once in 2 years,
Yes.
or yearly if we do is good. And cell breast examination, which is to be done every monthly for the women from the age of 20 till lifetime, is also an
Okay.
important, so that if any lump diagnosed or felt, that can be seen through the scan and mammography and can be diagnosed early. These are the things which they should regularly do, and definitely it's not waste of money. It is actually making your health fitter, and you will be detecting the things prior.
Yeah, and moreover, if a woman, elderly woman, or any woman in the family is healthy, she can take care of
Whole the
everyone
family.
in a much better way. Thank you, doctor, for sharing so many, like all these things. A lot of things I didn't know, like pap smear is important after 40, and a lot of things I didn't know, like the libido and the vaginal treatments, like superficial treatments which they can have. We have been talking about estrogen patches and all, sprays and patches and all. So I think menopause can be easily treated. Like we cannot avoid it, but it can be treated. It can be smooth and not so frustrating part of your life.
Correct.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you so much, Vani. I'm very happy with you for this topic, which is always close to my heart.